There's no better way to get better at football than playing football. So if you want to,
Taylor's gonna finish it.
I've always been confident in my abilities. I think, I'm a guy that can go out there, and I always believe in myself that I'm going to get open and make the play if they throw me the ball.
The third. Ryan, end zone shot for Pierce. He caught it. Oh, what a...
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Colts Cast. We're here to talk about everything and anything Indianapolis Colts. My name is Eric Smith, co-host of the Colts Cast on this lovely Sunday morning. Alongside me, as always, I have co-host Jamal Lawrence here.
What up?
Let's get right into it, guys. Let's get right into it. Rookie minicamp started on Friday. That was a delight, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Got a glimpse of the new guys on the block. It's refreshing to see the Colts out on the field. Really is, We've been exposed to just basketball and baseball recently, some hockey, but haven't got to see, we did have our spring game for the Gamecocks down here, but man, it's nice to see some football back on the field.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily around the corner, but we still have a lot to talk about for Colts Nation. Still focusing on the offense this episode. A lot of offense episodes. We're going to explain why or why not Alec Pierce will be the biggest beneficiary of this offense in 2023. Jamal, where would you like to begin?
We got to take a trip down memory lane. I think it's only fair if we're going to talk about why or why not he'll be an integral part to this offense. We got to revisit what happened last year. All right, so rookie year for him, we're talking about 41 receptions, 78 targets, 593 yards, 2 touchdowns, long ball, 47 yards, 28 first downs. I like that. 28 first downs. I don't, call it what you want. They could have been 1-yard slants, but a couple of those were definitely some 40-yard bombs. We all know that. One of the biggest things about Alec Pierce about that 2022 season, it was pretty inconsistent, especially when it came to the receptions to targets over a week-by-week basis. So just hang tight with me, Colts Nation. Let me just talk to you for a second. So we're going to start from week 1, and I'm just going to spitfire these, so just pay attention. Week 1, 0 receptions, 2 targets. Week 2, 3 receptions, 5 targets.
Ooh, what? Hold on. Was week 1 where he dropped that open, that touchdown in the end zone? Just dropped it?
Yes.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah, so people can't forget. That could be a reason why he had to lose. He didn't get any more after that. Week 3, 4 receptions, 6 targets. Week 4, that was the big one, 8 receptions, 9 targets. Week 5, 3 for 7, 6, 3 for 4. Week 7, 3 for 5. Week 8, 1 for 2. Week 9, 0 for 2. Week 10, 3 for 8. Week 11, 0 for 2. Week 12, 4 for 8. Week 13, 0 for 5. Week 14, 3 for 4. Week 15, 3 for 7. Week 16, 3 for 4. And of course, I know that there was a bye week in there too, but I just didn't want to. Anyways, the point of all that is just to show you how up and down it was for him. There were games where he was getting 2 targets, and there were games where he was getting 9, or he was getting 7, or he was getting 8. There are games he had 0 catches. There's game we have 4 catches or 5 catches. So it was all over the board for him. And it's not all his fault. We all know that quarterback play had a lot to do with that. But when I see just like such a shift in the productivity level week by week, it kind of makes you wonder what was going on. What was the game plan? Was the game plan to make you that guy for this game and then back off for the next game? Or was it that you weren't able to break away? Was it that quarterback competency was, a factor? O-line competency was a factor. I know there are a lot, but, as just digging into the receiver himself, that is Alec Pierce, I have to say that it was super inconsistent for him. Just seeing the big games, low games, the highs, lows, highs, lows, highs, lows. There weren't a lot of neutral games. It was either a solid game or, dang, where's Pierce at today game?
I would have to say that Pierce is not a high volume receiver, at least right now he isn't, especially in his rookie year. We saw the struggles, we saw the flashes, but Alec Pierce, he doesn't get tabbed as like a possession receiver. He is I feel like going forward, unless his game evolves, I think he is gonna be that vertical deep ball threat, which is gonna his productivity it's going to lag sometimes. Like the Vikings game, he had 5 targets, didn't catch any of them. Well, we know how shaky our offensive line play last year was. We know the play call-in was vanilla. We know the quarterback play. And we're going to get right into it. There was just a lot wrong with our offense last year. And this is why I'm hoping under a new system, new head coach, new quarterback, better offensive line play, hopefully, we can see Alec Pierce develop in the right direction. But what I want to talk about to start out with is just the offensive philosophy. What Pierce will be stepping into, essentially. So let's start with Shane Steichen. Explosive plays. We've heard that before. I'm ready to see it.
Mm-hmm.
According to Marcus Mosher, the Philadelphia Eagles last season were ranked 2nd in explosive plays in 2022. So explosive plays are going to account for rushes of 10-plus yards and receptions of 20-plus yards. They had 97 explosive plays last year, ranked 2nd in the NFL. 97 explosive plays total. I didn't even check where the Colts ranked. I'm sure they were near the bottom. I didn't even look. I was not wondering about that. But look, Pierce. I think one stat, I don't know if you read off, Jamal, but 14.5 yards per reception.
Mm-hmm.
That's 17. Solid. Yeah, that's 17th highest in the league. On that inept offense last year, he was the 17th highest in that category. You're probably thinking 17 isn't that high. But guess what also wasn't high last year? Our offense. So 17 is pretty darn good given the situation. Explosive plays, I think they're going to come with that vertical passing attack. Ladies and gentlemen, let us know in the comments below. If you're on YouTube, who you think is going to flourish in this offense? If you had to pick the one guy, who would it be? Right now, my pick is going to be Alec Pierce. We all know Alec Pierce is that primary downfield threat. He's going to get plenty of those one-on-one situations, especially now with Anthony Richardson stepping in the game. Mm-hmm. Anthony Richardson, he can make every throw in the NFL. We talked about how he's gonna see different coverages that Matt Ryan and Nick Foles. I had a mind blank. That Matt Ryan and Nick Foles, you only have to worry about them in the pocket. You ain't got to worry about them scrambling out to the outside. None of that. You don't have to drop a linebacker down to watch him. Where he going to go? Look, it's going to be lovely to watch. I just think Matt Ryan, with his limited arm strength, it's still show enough for Alec Pierce and his upside on those one-on-ones down the sideline. Y'all remember that. Whether it was incomplete, defensive pass interference, or a 20-yard bomb. Like, we saw Alec Pierce go up. And I want to talk about Alec Pierce's weaknesses that I feel like Shane Steichen's going to be able to limit. Alec Pierce isn't the best route runner. Like, he doesn't run a full route tree. He's not creating separation like all these other guys are. But I feel like that can be minimized, in my opinion. He's still a big-bodied receiver who's direct mismatch to a lot of cornerbacks. And then he's got that huge catch radius and strong hands. So really, more separation would be better, but he doesn't need that almost to get his catches, to do what he needs to do to move the chains. But I also feel like we do have to temper our expectations through the first year. You know how hyped we were about the Colts last season, and we predicted double-digit wins. It fell back on us, guys. So we do have to make sure we're not going crazy here, because we don't have an A.J. Brown. We don't have a Devontae Smith. To be honest, I've yet to see a Colt make a crazy like catch like Devontae Smith has, if we're just looking at last season. I mean, it just wasn't really possible. We didn't have Jalen Hurts. We didn't have that offensive line. It's a different situation. I still think Shane Steichen's going to be a formidable play caller, though. But I want to just let everybody know, I mean, I think Alec Pierce's production should go up this year. It should. Everything's trending in the right direction from what we just broke down. But we also have to make sure, like, he's no A.J. Brown. He's no Devontae Smith. At least yet. I just haven't seen it. Like, when I watch Devontae Smith, I'm like, dang. that man is, I mean, he's an elite route runner and he makes grabs at his side. Like, I don't know, Jamal. That's just me.
He's different. Ain't no denying that.
Yeah.
And I want to touch base on the explosive play calls that you talked about with the Eagles that they had last year before I get into some of Pierce's weaknesses and how he can develop in 2023. So I know you mentioned that the explosive play for the pass is a ball over 20 yards, correct? Alec Pierce managed to grab 7 out of the 15 20-plus bombs that he got last year. That's 47%, everybody. And remember that some of those were DPIs. So of course that he managed to draw that penalty, which is exactly what we wanted. I don't expect him to be at 80-90%, but dog, to grab 7 out of 15 that was over a 20-yard bomb, that's solid. I'll take that for a rookie. Especially knowing that was his specialty. He was a deep ball threat for us.
Is the play not negated if it's a DPI?
Maybe it was negated. I was looking at a stat from off of ESPN. It didn't give a full breakdown. Sometimes, they have like the little information button beside it. But even with that being said, even if it is negated, call it what you want. That probably knocks out 5 or 6. So, but 7 out of 15. Nonetheless, 47%. I'll still take that from him, especially with being a rookie coming in there and not being afraid to go up for it with someone who has a very limited route tree, as you mentioned, someone who doesn't create a lot of separation. That's a pretty tough task to do, to just go up against any cornerback and try to get the ball down every single time. Of course, some of his other weaknesses, he hit that rookie wall. Reggie Wayne talked about it during the season. And I know that the rookie wall definitely probably didn't help out, especially when you're on a team that is under as bad as the Colts were last year with his offenses. Not a lot of motivation to try to even get better. But looking into 2023, he can do a lot. He got those first-year jitters under his belt. Again, like you mentioned, I don't even have to go down the whole Anthony Richardson phase, but he's got a new weapon, a huge new weapon that walked in the building. So I think it's going to be clear that he'll have a chance to flourish with that. And we're gonna have a Josh Downs at that slot. That's gonna draw some attention away, because we got to be honest here. Even with Paris Campbell being here last year, we all were on our toes every single week because you didn't know what was going to happen. You didn't know if he was going to get hurt. And historically, we know that he hasn't been here. So I'm sure teams probably had the same thing. He hadn't proved himself to other teams around the league yet, so they're not worried about him. Not saying that Josh Downs is walking in proved, but that speedy scat back, we know that he's going to be in that slot position. He's going to draw attention. So I think that that'll take a little bit of pressure off of Pierce as well. And then again, we already talked about Richardson playbook. Steichen said it already. Throw to score, throw to score, throw to score. That ball is going to be getting aired out. And what better person do you have besides Alec Pierce, who can get a chance to this offseason, as Reggie Wayne told him, get flexible, get more separation, get that route tree built up, get more separation. We know you can jump. We know you're not afraid to go up with everybody else, but you work on that footwork. Should get better with that offseason. That's what's going to set him apart. If he can manage those expectations of going out and getting a little bit better every single day during this offseason, that could take him to the next level. Again, not saying he's going to have the greatest breakout sophomore season ever, but those are small things that you can fix. You can fix flexibility daily by stretching. You can fix that footwork by going to drills.
I need to stretch more, man.
No, me too. That route tree can get better. I mean, again, you got Reggie Wayne as your wide receiver coach, someone who's been there, done it. He knows the ins and outs. He knows what works best for him. So take note from someone who has been at the most elite level, won that grand prize you won at that Super Bowl, and take notes from him and watch the other receivers around you. Because I would be a liar if I said if I was a receiver or any player in the NFL, I would always be watching the best player that's at my position, whether or not I have the same physical attributes to them. He may not have that Justin Jefferson speed or that Devontae Adams grab, but you can still fine-tune yourself and pick apart the small things that to elevate you to the next level. So those are things you got to work on this offseason, because we want to see that productivity be better. We want you to be able to be confident and cocky when you walk in the building, but you got to be able to produce as well.
I like how you talked about Josh Downs. I feel like they're already building a connection on that rookie minicamp. We've seen some throws to Josh Downs. It looks beautiful. We'll see. We'll see how good they look in the preseason.
Oh yeah,
in minicamp. It's going to be great. But we're already seeing that chemistry being built. Back to the throw to score. Like, what does that actually mean? I've interpreted that as, those big downfield plays. We're going to use the run game. We're going to break ground with that, but we're also going to keep you on your toes and hit that vertical passing, that downfield threats. Because what I really expect from this offense, we saw games last year when Matt Ryan was chucking the ball 40 to 50 times. I don't know if I see that this year with Anthony Richardson back there. I don't know if I really do. I still expect this offense to lean on the run game a little more. You still have Jonathan Taylor back there to lean on. You still have him. Anthony Richardson, best dual threat quarterback in this draft, has been added. Quinn Nelson is still one of the best guards in the NFL, despite the down season. Blake Freeland, great run blocker. We just picked him up. I don't know. It just seems like we're going to lean on that run game. I'm thinking low volume passing attack, 30 to 35 passes a game. Because when you look at Jalen Hurts, he only threw the ball like 32 times a game. He didn't throw the ball a lot, but he still had 300 plus yards a game. Why? They had explosive plays going on. They had that three-headed monster back there with the Russian attack. So I'm wondering if, Jonathan Taylor won't be the bell cow he's always been. I hope he is. He flourishes at that. We noticed when Marlon Mack was back there a few years ago, and they were like Jonathan Taylor was getting like 10 carries, where he was getting like 99 yards. And then I always ask the question, like, why is JT not getting the ball more? He's way more efficient. Give JT the ball. And they finally did. Had a breakout season. Crazy things happen. But I just hope we don't end up like, the Chicago Bears. We have this elite Russian attack, best Russian attack in the league last year for them. And they only won 3 games. Like, it obviously does not matter. I mean, dudes, they were running the ball in the fourth quarter down like 21. It was crazy. I don't understand that. But maybe they were secretly tanking. But still, I think all in all, Jamal, Alec Pierce should still be. I think he flourishes in this new offensive game plan we have. Hopefully, he's not utilized as only like a downfield threat. Like, I think that's his role right now. Just he's going to be that deep ball specialist. I mean, we saw some plays where he was doing slants over the middle and stuff like that. I saw a lot of incompletions though. So I hope he develops into more of a middle of the field guy too. He's promising. I like Alec Pierce. Season's going to be exciting nonetheless, but win or lose, I'm ready for it.
Yeah, I agreed heavily with everything you just said there. And I think just one of the biggest things that's going to build up on this season, that's going to potentially, hopefully make it better overall for us, is the confidence. The confidence throughout the building should be at an extra high level. Again, I was reading a quote just the other day, and it was talking about how, like, you can always tell what was wrong with the old coaches by the way the players talk about the new coaches, because the things they're going to talk about are things that old coaches lacked. And Quentin Nelson, he was just talking just about different things that Shane Steichen brought to the table, different things that Tony Sparano brings to the table, and so on. So that lets you know there that those are things that he felt, as someone who's been in the organization since his rookie season, that maybe the Colts organization was lacking at that point. So the confidence, when you have your players start to build that confidence, they're going to feel better within each other. Alec Pierce is going to feel better when knowing that the playbook is going to be more developed, for him to maybe start to learn new routes, maybe start to be, like you said, go across the middle of the field, know that the running attack is going to be there. Everyone is a building block. It's stepping stones for everybody. And when the confidence gets built up the way it should be, everyone's going to flourish just a little bit more every single time. And I think that, going back to what you're just saying, not to harp on that, but just going back to what you're saying about the run attack, I think it should be strong. We don't need to have Anthony Richardson out there throwing 60 times a game. Let him build that confidence with the run. Once you build the confidence with the run, something you're good at, if he had any doubts of the accuracy, the last thing I want him out there is doing is throwing the ball 40-something times. Let him feel comfortable, get his water wings, and then take off with the throws. And I think that it truly will help out Alec Pierce, Michael Pittman, Josh Downs. It'll all go hand in hand with them, and the team should flourish. It's just fresh faces, new beginnings, and development should take off from here.
Just don't expect a 1,000-yard season from Pierce right now.
No. I mean, if he got 593 with Matt Ryan back there, I think he could get 700 or so. But I'm not gonna shoot for the swing for the fences on that.
Especially with the low volume passing attack that I'm envisioning. That there's not that many receiving yards to go around. Anthony Richardson, let's say he starts week 1. What do you think he throws? Like 3,000, 3,500 passes, something like that. But he's not. I don't think. This is just my opinion. He's going for 4,000 plus. I don't see it right now. Maybe something changes, but yeah. Hey, look, that's going to be it for us, everyone. Thank you for listening to the Colts Cast today. We're live on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or any platform you use to listen to podcasts. We'll be back next time to give you some more Indianapolis Colts content. Y'all take care.
Have a good one.